So, Kirby Air Riders, am I right? The game of my dreams is almost here, and I've been earning all the retro achievements in the original Kirby Air Ride to celebrate. Retro Achievements, by the way, is a website that provides community-curated achievement sets for classic games that might never have had them before. Most prominently, Nintendo games. Over the last couple videos, I have covered all of the retro achievements for the original iterations of the Air Ride mode and Top Ride mode, respectively. Today, we arrive at the main event, as I and Sakurai and basically anyone else in the world would put it. City Trial! Here's a quick summary of how this works. While the timer runs, you want to collect as many of the colorful stat boost patches as possible to make your vehicle better in each of its various attributes. While riding around the city, many random events can happen, making each match unique. You have to stay on your toes as you never know what will happen next. At the end of the time limit, all participants will compete in a minigame using their powered-up machines. TLDR, first we city, then we trial. Let's city trial! But first, you. Yeah, you. Hit the subscribe button, pretty please, if you're anywhere near as hyped as I am for Kirby Air Riders. Cause I am going to be grinding that game with more dedication than I've ever shown on this channel before. And while you're at it, don't forget to like and comment. These videos have been eating up months of my time, and I would greatly appreciate the signs of, well, appreciation. Now, because this game mode was my entire childhood, I still have all the places where legendary machine pieces can spawn in my core memories. One of the harder challenges to complete in this mode is for managing to assemble both legendary air ride machines in the same match, and I always try to make it a priority from the very beginning. With about a minute left, my first event came. I had actually come really close to finishing both legendary air ride machines in this first match, but with only 35 seconds left, I shifted my goal to boarding the UFO before it disappeared. I didn't have enough glide for Swerve Star to fly straight up there, but I did have enough to comfortably reach the volcano. Claiming the all rewarded me with my first retro achievement. This was a great start, but then fate reminded me of how cruel RNG will be for this journey, as with only 10 seconds left, I spotted 2 red boxes near the water wheel. If you're a Kirby Air Ride veteran, you probably know that red boxes would almost never spawn over here unless they have legendary machine parts in them. There was absolutely no way I could break both in time, which crushed my soul. How am I only on the first run and I'm already grieving over what could have been? Regardless, all I could do now was go for one of the 2 boxes and go for the win in the stadium. I had completed 5 check blocks, but I wouldn't know what they were until after the results. The other 3 Kirbys are trapped in a room with Dragoon. This was probably going to be a cakewalk. Ignore the fact that they got me once. I just needed to get a good amount of KOs myself, and winning would be easy. With the conclusion of that massacre, I unlocked 2 retro achievements for winning any city trial, and winning a 7-minute match. Honestly, a really good start, all things considered. In the second trial, I focused more on collecting as many stat buffs as I could find. It felt like everywhere I went, there were huge clusters of stats. I was growing more powerful by the second. At one point, I made a good start on one of the more difficult check blocks to get, which is for defeating other Kirbys using fireworks 10 times. But it'll be a while before we see that one pop.
Listen to me, listen!
My flight capabilities had grown a lot now, to the point where I was able to fly from the Electric Lounge all the way to the Star Pole, earning a retro achievement for the Grand Flight. The game was spoon-feeding me a whole banquet of buffs. I destroyed my first random pillar and ate it all up. I earned so many buffs in one game without collecting any gray ones that I got a retro achievement. I am the most powerful compact star in the universe. For winning a city trial without ever getting off of compact star, I earned another retro achievement. That genuinely might be the craziest round of city trial I have ever had in my life. You're telling me I got 3 of the luck-based food challenges all in one trial? I just used up all my good luck for the remainder of this video, didn't I? Now in my 3rd trial, I almost got my 2nd kill with the firework cannon using this pro technique where mashing boost as fast as possible can delay your shots, saving you some of your ammo. But it ran out just before I could finish the job. I found a couple different legendary machine parts as I played this round pretty normally while waiting for something new to happen.
Citizens of the world, an asteroid will strike the Earth. An asteroid will strike the Earth. And the world will end in a flaming ball of fire.
But I didn't immediately realize one of the meteors made me drop one of my own pieces. I considered going back for that last legendary machine piece, but earlier there was a stadium prediction that gave me the impression that the stadium would be air glider, so I actually chose to stay on compact star instead. Don't worry, we'll see the Hydra soon enough. With a fully maxed out glide stat, I was feeling confident.
I'm going to fly for you. I hit my nose.
I've only played 3 rounds and we're already over 20 check blocks in. This is going great so far. Heading into Trial 4, somehow I managed to sneak in my 2nd fireworks KO on this Kirby that decided to board a dying Rex wheelie for some reason. I wanted to rub salt in that blueberry's wound even further, so I took the nearby Turbo Star and left my compact star for him to ride instead. Later on I swapped to Slick Star. The lighthouse turned on shortly after, and since Slick Star was actually damaged, I was able to heal for 4 seconds to earn a retro achievement. I think that's the only time I will ever be glad to see the lighthouse event. I ended up collecting all 4 special power-ups in this trial. The defense shield, the boxing glove, the speed cape, and the invincibility candy, earning a retro achievement for that as well. Regardless of how the stadium goes, this was another successful run. Oh my goodness, drag race with Swerve Star? How is my luck still so good right now? This is crazy. That said, they were really close behind me, which made me more than a little nervous, but I stayed ahead. Time for Trial 5. I kinda went on a rampage at the start, racking up some kills with Plasma. The Pink Kirby literally abandoned his machine just to escape my wrath. Can't say Red was so lucky though. Afterwards, maybe I went a little too crazy and blew myself up in a fiery inferno. But actually, I hadn't cooled down yet. I proceeded to shoot the blueberry down again for my 3rd fireworks KO.
Oh no!
And just when you thought I was done, another spawned. Come here, Red. You can't hide from Kirby.
Fun!
Okay, I think that's enough, for now. I flew up past the water wheel and grabbed a Hydra piece. I doubted it would still be possible to get both legendary machines 2 minutes in already, but seeing at least one could never hurt. I spotted a suspicious red box, no, not that kind, and flew over to investigate. I resisted the urge to go on another rampage, and the box had the 2nd Hydra piece. I rotated around to the castle, and inside waited... a Dragoon piece? Surely not, right? I checked inside the volcano's secret passage next, and in the hidden room was another red box. How did I go from no legendary pieces to 4 in less than 2 minutes? Well, now that I'd come this far, my priorities had shifted. I was determined to find those last pieces. I found myself back at the water wheel again, and there was another red box. I'll just be renting 1 legendary machine, please and thank you. I was on fire! So much so that the railway stations began to burn in the Hydra's wake. You dare! I would kill you again, but it's not worth my time. I needed to find that final piece. Well, that didn't take many matches. For destroying CPUs 5 times in total, I unlocked Purple Kirby. And for assembling both legendary machines in the same trial, I unlocked my main mellow, White Kirby. Man, I don't know if you can tell, but I was having a blast. Air Ride and Top Ride are mad fun in their own ways, but there's a reason even Sakurai himself calls City Trial the main event of the game. In the 6th trial, I decided to start using a second controller to get stuff done. I wasn't sure if a real player counts toward the total, but I got a fireworks KO on them just in case it does. I got a little carried away breaking all the rocks in the volcano and forest, so I kinda forgot to get Purple Kirby onto a new machine for some of the other check blocks I had in mind. The stadium this time was Target Flight. I had an opportunity here to get a perfect score, but unfortunately I messed up the second round. Oh well, at least I broke all the rocks. In the 7th trial, Tak showed up for the first time. I tried to find him, but he ended up spawning in the hidden room from the volcano, and by the time I figured it out, he was gone, which hurt my soul, as one of the check blocks is for stealing 8 of Tak's items all on your own. I decided to fly through some rings and nab another fireworks KO, but this time I navigated them to a nearby wagon star afterwards. I was readying myself to run the timer with both players on the rails until another surprise visitor showed up. It's Dyna Blade. There are multiple tasks related to her. Yes, by the way, Dyna Blade has always been a girl. Air Ride alone just refers to her in male terms for some reason. Devs must have been mistaking her for Dyna Guy. Anyways, I got carried away trying to fight her and didn't notice the timer running out, meaning I missed my chance at the rail challenge again. On the bright side, I had flown through enough rings to unlock Dragoon Part B. Well, at least I made good progress.
Oh, no.
In Trial 8, items became rubbery. There's a retro achievement I could have earned for finding a legendary machine piece while this event was active, but the stars did not align this time. I did remember there being a challenge for breaking all of the barracks, so I spent most of this trial destroying them all. I ended up earning Hydra Part X for doing so, and I unlocked the ability to see stats on the pause screen for collecting my 500th item in the city. I realized the 7-minute timer was totally distracting me from actually getting the multiplayer challenges done, so I lowered the time to 3 minutes, and immediately placed both players onto the rails, and there I waited. Finally, I would end a trial with everyone on rails. Oh look, it's Target Flight again. Having literally no stats at all might make this a lot easier. Well, that went well. At this point, I decided to tackle some tasks in the stadiums themselves, now that I had a good few of them available to me, starting with versus King DDD. Fighting him in the city trial itself is near impossible, as he gains way more HP the more the players power up. but fighting him in a straight up duel? It takes some RNG, but if you can get Needle, you can rip DDD to shreds, earning achievements for both beating him solo and in under a minute with relative ease.
Swiftly and without mercy.
The next check block I decided to go for is back in target flight. I need to stay airborne for a full 15 seconds without hitting any of the targets. There's just one clear choice for this job.
Wow! I guess he wasn't a lunatic after all.
I'm flying! I'm flying!
He's flying, he's really, really flying.
They laughed, they scoffed before I had liftoff.
But now he's flying high in the sky.
I'd love to hang around to say I told you so, but
I'm done with the task. It's time to move on. I'm not done with target flight itself yet though. I need to get 150 points using any of the wheelie bikes for a retro achievement. Scooter seemed like the natural pick for this. However, its speed was uncontrollable in the air though. I did do it after a few attempts, but maybe it would have been a lot easier with the regular wheelie. From what I could remember, you unlocked each Destruction Derby event by getting a certain number of points in the previous ones, so it was time to go on another rampage. Let's agree to pretend that I did not just get graphically murdered by level 1 CPUs, okay? Listen man, even on level 1, the CPUs in this game will abuse invincibility frames and hunt you down all the same. With one more proximity bomb, I completed the 40th checklist block, earning an achievement for the second milestone. Next, I decided to go for 2 retro achievements that want me to win in Destruction Derby against level 9 CPUs without being KO'd myself, with the 4 machines being set to Winged, Shadow, Rocket, and Formula Star. Which one of those 4 you use doesn't matter, so out of the 4 I chose Shadow. Things were going okay until I accidentally obliterated myself with a Gordo. The second try, I got obliterated by the Blueberries Gordo. I realized the best thing I could do was really just to try and stay safe and only fight from afar or with bombs and Gordos. On this map though, the Rocket Star was terrifying to deal with. They were incredibly fast and zooming laps around the ring very unpredictably. And I was just trying to run for my life, I'll be honest. Red Kirby repeatedly tried to come after me, but I was able to fend him off, earning the achievement for doing this on Destruction Derby 2. I went back to do it for Destruction Derby 1, and long story short, I got sniped at the very last second. Proceeded to struggle hard for the next several attempts in increasingly stupid ways until finally getting it. Can anyone tell me why this mic attack didn't actually hurt me? Cause I can't tell if I was just too far away, or if the spinner item actually protects you from it in some way. Regardless, I'm thankful it didn't, cause I was finally able to put an end to the madness for now.
I'm going for the record.
Mom, look! It's the flying guy!
I may as well take this opportunity to properly explain what's going on here. So, you know how pressing the boost button while in the air will normally act as a way to press the machine down to the ground faster? Similarly to Rocket Star's insane drafting glitch I used in the air ride video, Bulkstar has some weird behaviors when doing this. And said weird behavior can result in Bulkstar actually gaining height infinitely as long as you mash the boost button fast enough. This oversight's existence makes Bulkstar capable of reaching the actual end of the map in Air Glider even without having any stat boosts whatsoever. It can fly longer and farther than even the Dragoon can. Remember guys, this game's programming was developed in literally just like 3 months or something. I feel pretty dang confident Bulkstar will not be capable of this in the new game. So let's abuse this total shenaniganizer of an air ride machine while we still can. Okay, so I decided to go for a retro achievement asking me to get a legendary machine in a 3-minute trial, and not only did I get that done straight away, but I got both machines assembled in just 3 minutes. Then I proceeded to completely screw up in both rounds of target flight, only to still win by 5 points anyways, giving me another achievement for winning said 3-minute city trial. That was both the best and worst round of city trial in this video yet. Anyways, as for the next trial, I went after a retro achievement for switching to 10 unique vehicles before the stadium, which wasn't too hard. Then the game just said, help yourself to the castle's chamber of offense, it comes with a free Hydra. And I'm like, don't mind if I do.
Put Thomas at the front of the battle. But he'll be creamed.
There once was a man, a very poor man. He had next to nothing. Yes, there once was a very poor man.
There he was, alone at the front line. But he never gave up. He stood his ground. He's a war hero, sire.
I then tried to get my next fireworks KO, but I accidentally finished him off with impact damage, so I don't think it counted? Sorry Blueberry, I just harassed you again for nothing. While waiting for something interesting to happen, I noticed that a lot of food items seemed to be spawning in this round, so I saw this as my best opportunity to go for a retro achievement that wants me to eat 15 food items in a single city trial.
Where's the food? Where's the food? Where's my food?
Food! Glorious food!
I really didn't have much else to do in that trial, so I actually ended up eating 23 food items even. I was honestly kind of salty that I found that much food, yet somehow I wasn't able to earn the retro achievement for eating 5 of one of the following foods: hot dogs, sushi, Metamatoes, or energy drinks. Meaning that was still an achievement I would still need to worry about in future runs. I also got a check block for going up to the rooftops for the 10th time, so cool I guess. Actually, speaking of the rooftops, as I started the next trial, my starting position was the closest I'd ever been to the rooftops, allowing me to bust the star pole in the first 20 seconds of the match for another retro achievement. As for the rest of the round, I wasn't able to get more than 3 toward that food retro achievement, but I did complete check blocks for getting bomb and sleep from the copy ability panel, as well as going into the golf holes 3 times, ending with a race with the most Looney Tunes looking wheelie scooter gameplay you'll ever see. The game was finally beginning to troll me at this point as an event started where all boxes contained the same items. You wanna know what they contained? Apples! This isn't Mystery Dungeon, man. Why couldn't it have been tomatoes? Curse you, McDonald's! Then I tried to get my next fireworks KO, only to be turned into a puffsicle. Had there not been my second sighting of meteors, this would have been the first trial where literally no progress was made at all. In the next trial, I at least got my next firework knockout. If you've ever wanted to know what it looks like when you fully use up a restoration area, well, now you know. For some reason there was just an all alone over here. This confused me, and later on I learned that apparently alls have a chance to spawn naturally if the stadium is versus King Dedede. How have I never known this fact at any point since childhood? Okay, I'm back up to 3 tomatoes again. Oh, make that 4. I figured I may as well check all the volcano walls as I know food commonly spawns in them. And holy cannoli, I actually got it. This was a massive relief. I could finally focus on other tasks again, knowing that retro achievement isn't looming over my head anymore. Oh, yeah, I guess I did that too. All the various checklist blocks for breaking specific machines while riding other machines gave me more trouble than I'd like to admit. And it's mostly because I kept failing to memorize which ones I was supposed to be riding and which ones I was supposed to be destroying. I have Dory's memory when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'd rather not spend extra time mentioning all the times I've messed one of these up, if that's alright with you. Anyway, I got another fireworks KO, and almost got the achievement for collecting 20 items during dense fog, but the trial ended when I was a few items away. The fog was even still going. At least I finally got access to Drag Race 3, and because I just so happened to be on Wheelie Bike and made it in just under 31 seconds, I got a check block for that. Haha, what luck. Ooh, high jump. This is perfect for me right now. I could have swore Wheelie Scooter was broken for this when I was a kid. That had to have been a fluke, right? Scooter is the jumping machine. I know I didn't get many stats and all, but you saw what default Scooter was like in Target Flight earlier, right? Am I losing my mind or what, like? Well, I finally got Green Kirby at least. Did the blueberry just get a legendary piece? Put that Hydra piece down, now! Oh hey, now's my chance to get the fog challenge done. Prepare for the next 3 achievements. Actually, make it double. I'll kill 10 foes with a burning desire for devastation, bringing internal conflicts to the Popstar Nation, building up fights against truth and love, to extend my retro achievement point count to the stars above. Me, myself, and I. Destruction Derby in style 3, 4, 5. Surrender now, or prepare to fight. That's right. It was finally time to get back on the trial grind. And this is the first trial of the run where the backside theme played, which is neat. Sometime later, I was notified that the air ride machines are flying north for the fall. This might be my only chance for a particular retro achievement for a long time, so I needed to act fast. I paused the game to see where they were and made haste to the rooftops. Maybe a bit too hastily though, as I didn't make the jump to ride one of them.
There's nobody driving these cars!
Luckily, the legend Swerve Star had my back, allowing me to rush back up for a second chance. Me and Shadow Star went on a tyrannical killing spree in preparation to earn the retro achievement for retiring all the other Kirbys in a drag race before they can cross the finish line.
Pull over, Wheelie. How you like this, shortener?
In the next trial, something insanely lucky happened. I grabbed a Dragoon piece as an event was starting, and the event just so happened to be item bounce, so I earned the achievement by complete accident. I'm honestly surprised it was that generous. The music hadn't even started yet. But I ain't complaining. After that, I had an idea for a way I could cheese the drag race time trials in stadium mode. If I had player 2 ride Swerve Star, I could draft behind it with Wagon to reach the speed I needed. With this done, I was officially halfway through the checklist. But I immediately realized that there was a retro achievement for doing what I just did without copy abilities. So without the wheel that I grabbed. One Swerve Star worked well to draft with, but what if I threw in some cheating CPUs?
Easy peasy rice and cheesy.
There was also an achievement for finishing Drag Race 3 in 28 seconds on Swerve Star. By using Swerve Star's wall riding trick, this shouldn't be too bad either. That said though, I didn't make it the first time. Or the next.
But the one after the next, after the next, after the next, after that, well, that one after that, right next to that one, that will be my day!
These are some hot wheels.
Fun!
Yeah, I don't know about you, but that one just seemed like an RNG test. Getting wheel makes or breaks that run. Doing this also unlocked Drag Race 4, which has another retro achievement similar to this one. But it's for Rex Wheelie in just 20 seconds. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? The way Rex Wheelie behaves is just so strange though. Do you remember the problems it had on Frozen Hillside in the air ride video? It has those same issues here. Not even drafting seemed to help me. Two milliseconds off?
Oh, try again. What was that?
This is trash!
Also, there's this one in Drag Race 2 for Winged Star in 29 seconds. This one is a checklist block to unlock Round Kirby rather than a retro achievement, so it didn't take very long. I might be losing, but I'm beating the goal time by drafting, and that's all that matters. This was the final Kirby color unlocked as well, so I earned another achievement with it. By some miracle of luck, I've already earned almost all of the retro achievements already. Most of what is left to do are part of the regular checklist. I broke another pillar, which was still something I needed to work toward. All I got done in the next trial was breaking my 10th star pole. And the only thing I got out of the next trial after that was being carried by the water wheel for the 10th time. The sole sliver of progress from the next trial was destroying Wheelie Scooter on Compact Star. And in the next trial, all I did was destroy Turbo Star using the rocket. If it isn't already obvious, things were really slowing down at this point, as my next trial was the first in this whole video where I wasn't able to make any progress at all. I was starting to run low on storage space too, so I started to pause the recordings when nothing particularly interesting was happening. After a couple more trials, I destroyed Rocket on Slick Star and Formula on Turbo Star. Then I brought Kirby back in to help me with one I had been struggling to get for the last several trials, which was to damage a rival in the first 10 seconds of the match. With a second pair of eyes on the map, there was a higher chance of being able to land a hit quickly if either of the players spawned near an opponent. You ever see someone screw up the pillar event so badly that you actually witness the pillar vanishing for what I believe to be the first time in my whole life? Yeah, I was mulling over that blunder for a while. I cooled off a little by doing this challenge in target flights to earn exactly 90 points by hitting a 40 and then a 50-point target. Then I realized I hadn't done the challenges for high jump yet. I don't know what the heck happened earlier, but I know Wheelie Scooter is supposed to be the best at this.
I used to be the best. Maybe I can be again.
So I'm not crazy!
Kirby Melee! Optimal strat here is to pick a machine with a lot of precision like Swerve Star and aim for Plasma exclusively. Then start Thunderbolting. For reaching 75 enemy KOs, I unlock Kirby Melee 2. However, before I moved on to that, there's a retro achievement for defeating 40 enemies in Melee 1 without using any copy abilities. I came close on the first go, but not close enough. I was attempting it with Wheelie Scooter because I figured its high control and handling stats would make it a good choice. But I didn't account for the fact that riding a small machine means having a small hitbox, one that often whiffs airborne enemies. I switched to Compact Star after that because it also has good handling while also being able to hit the flying enemies much more consistently. My low HP had me stressed by the end, but I toughed it out and left with a triumphant score of 44. There is a similar achievement needing 35 points in Melee 2, so I went for it first with Swerve Star, since it's a very large map with spread out enemies. The real hub for points here is the floating platform populated by respawning Cappies. You can only reach it by gliding across from the outer walls, but unfortunately on the way there I grabbed Needle by mistake, meaning I couldn't earn the achievement, but I played it out anyways to earn my 80th and 81st check blocks for reaching a high score. Afterwards, I brought Warp Star up to Cappy Town and failed to reach 35 points. With a bit of practice speeding up there as fast as I could, I managed to squeak in the 35th KO at the very last second, earning me the final stadium-related retro achievement. I could have grinded out the other Kirby Melee check blocks at this point, but I decided there's actually no point in rushing them now, as there is still so many things left to do in the city. Starting with this very simple task I hadn't done yet somehow, of having all players simultaneously dismount their machines. In this trial I just so happened to break my 500th box, and get my 150th Destruction Derby KO. In the next trial, I finally managed to get 10 items in the first 20 seconds. I also destroyed Swerve Star on Wheelie Bike and rode the rail into the crater. Then I did a quick little check block for staying airborne for 10 seconds straight in high jump. I broke both rocks in Destruction Derby 1, reset for good boost panel RNG to finish Drag Race 1 in 17 seconds with Formula Star, I played Drag Race 4 with Formula Star, then again with Turbo Star, although Wing almost ruined it. I nabbed another Time Bomb KO in the city, rode my 60th mile, and I experienced my 3rd Meteor Shower. Jeez, it's no wonder there's no one inhabiting this city. Every 2.5 minutes your public transportation could be burning down, all your possessions start bouncing all over the place, the world will end in a raging ball of fire, or a burglar will commit another burglary. Not to mention it's a whole city with no restrooms.
A whole city with no restrooms? It's like being in New York.
Speaking of burglary, I wasn't about to let him get away from me for a 3rd time. I was nervous that I would fail to take back 8 items because I got put to sleep, but I must have really scared him, as he dropped a whole smorgasbord of food as he ran away. I also finally managed to get 10 of both turn and weight in that trial. Remember those challenges for getting multiple of the same kind of food earlier? There was actually still one more of those I needed, for getting 3 plates of sushi. I ended up finding 2 in my next run, so I dedicated the rest of that time limit to desperately hunting down a 3rd sushi. Along the way, I managed to destroy all 3 of the CPUs with Gordos, which gave me another check block. A short time later, behold, succulent seafood! This is my 100th check block. There's only 20 left to go.
Cool, the Ice Realm.
Whoa, 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 hold on a second there, cowboy. Look at here.
Your checklist, it's incomplete. Heading back into the city, I found my opportunity to bust Slick Star using Formula Star, and may have almost let myself unironically die to the railway station fire. But holy cannoli, I'm so good at this game. I'm not gonna lie, I deserve some bragging rights for surviving that predicament. Not that it really mattered, since my other task was to finish with both players off their machines anyways, but I still felt cool. Next, I busted Wheelie Bike on Warp Star and got my third sensor bomb KO. After a few trials of getting absolutely nothing done, I realized I forgot a drag race challenge for Drag Race 1, and drafted with the CPUs again to complete it. And if anyone's wondering if I've done the challenge for getting stepped on by Dynablade yet,
No, but I will. Team bonus, baby!
the window for how long you have to get underneath her before she lands is unreactably small. Attempting it normally, it's basically a matter of luck if you can manage to get under them birdie feet in time. If only this was as easy as it is to get my real bird to stand on me. However, I have memorized at least one of the locations where she can perch, so I decided to plant my assistant Kirby atop the orange building for each trial I played from now on. With a little luck, Kirby might find himself marching right into the talons of destiny. But to destiny's own time. In the meantime, I managed to break another pillar. Then I broke my 1000th box, unlocking Meta Knight for free run, followed by some peak wheelie scooter gameplay, I think? Seriously, what is going on with the code for this thing in City Trial? These are some kinda Uncle Grandpa physics, that's for sure. Then the game gave me another pillar, which was lucky. Eventually, Destiny was ready.
Bird, it's a bird!
Using himself as live bait!
How brave!
Don't let it get me! Don't let it get me!
I'd say getting Dynablade to land on you is the most annoying challenge in this checklist besides the food ones, and we've already completed all of those. It was finally time for just the really grindy stuff. I continued to play City Trials until I picked up my 3000th item, busted my 5th and final pillar, and eventually unlocked the last stadium, Celestial Valley's single race. Oh heck, I'm on a wheelie. Let me just whittle on back a bit here, that's better.
Right! Watch me swing right in!
Anyways, now the true grind begins. Playing Target Flight until I've accumulated 1500 points. Playing Kirby Melee until I've attained a kill count of 1500.
I'm gonna die here.
A lot of boring math later.
Finishing that one unlocked the final vehicle for free run mode, Hydra, giving me 2 more retro achievements as there was nothing left to unlock. Everything left on the checklist simply amounts to chilling out in free run for a while. Finally, I get to relax. I may as well take this opportunity to tell some nostalgic tales. I remember when I was young, I used to play free run and pretend Kirby was purchasing machines from a dealership down here. And I would park them at Kirby's apartment at the top floor of the Electric Lounge. When I wasn't doing that, I'd be spending hours just jumping around the city finding secret spots. Like climbing to the top of the Sky Garden. There's absolutely no reason to ever climb up here, but I would do it. And I always felt satisfied with myself when I would get to the top and ride the propeller around like a merry-go-round. Oh hey, I earned a retro achievement for reliving that memory. I'd also treat this underground room like a cool little secret base, you know? Like, why is this cool mini little diorama of the city here? I never knew, but it fascinated my young mind. And over here, on these cliffs where items don't even spawn, you'll find a lone flower that's just here, for no other reason than to make you feel a little something when you notice it's there. And if we take a precise trip over to the top of the castle hall, there's another lone flower waiting up at the top here too. I know I'm not alone in having memories like these throughout my childhood with this game, yeah? Okay, enough reminiscing for today. Beyond this point, I just sped the game up and, Well, apparently miles driven in free run don't count towards driving 200 miles in City Trial. So I guess for my final check block, I just have to drive around for another 1/8 of a day in City Trials. By the way, Rocket Star with an overcharged battery is the fastest machine in the game, and it's not even close. Forget Nitrox 2 letting you reach 300 miles per hour, overcharged Rocket Star goes fast enough to open 2 portals to Highway 35. Anyways, after probably 20 more rounds or so of City Trial, I finally completed the final check block in the entire game. All that was left was one last retro achievement. Grabbing 8 copy abilities in one more City Trial would be my victory lap for Kirby Air Ride's Retro Achievements Mastery.
Kirby, that's the name you should know. Kirby, he's the star of the show. The pointed thing, he's got maximum thing. Kirby, for one. He goes right, ha-ha-cha. He goes right, ha-ha-cha. Give it all that you got, take a very best shot. Cause in the ride, catch you for sure, yeah.
Yes! Yes!
It's beautiful.
It's finally over. 3 full-length videos, 3 game modes, 360 checklist blocks, 203 retro achievements. Kirby Air Ride was officially my 50th mastery on retro achievements, and I'm more ready than I've ever been my whole life for Kirby Air Riders. Please like the video if you liked the video, of course, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll be seeing you guys in Skya, aight? Adventure on!